Boy, can they ever. It's why lawyers will always tell their clients, don't talk to the press. But this is a different kind of case. There's a lot of public support for Karen Read, and a jury pool might have been the kind of thing they needed to reach. So really interesting. I think in that opening statement, I'm going to just lay odds here, Caitlin. In that opening statement, they will pull the part where Karen Read says, I'm doing this because I don't want to testify. I don't want to testify. I want to do this. And then a prosecutor can say, why doesn't she want to testify? Is it because you're under oath and you're not allowed to lie under oath, but you can lie to the press? I mean, that would be pretty powerful. I'm just spitballing here. Real quickly, one other thing I thought was a bit weird. There was an argument today, prosecution asking for an independent text message reader. What was that about?
Yeah, prosecution wanted to, and the judge even suggested potentially a male and a female who have nothing to do with the case, really no skin in the game, to come in and read text messages between John O'Keefe, the victim here, and Karen Read, his then girlfriend, who was, of course, on trial for his murder. The defense was furious. They thought that this would be too theatrical. You're basically bringing in two people to play the parts of the two most important key players in this trial, and that the person who should read the text was the person who read them last time, the trooper who discovered the phone and went through them. That's what the defense says should happen. However, the judge didn't rule on this just yet and did seem to kind of side with the prosecution, suggesting that the whole purpose of bringing in these two random people would be so no one was adding their own inflection or tone. But the defense thinks that he hears the same argument and says it's exactly the opposite. If you bring in two people to play the parts, that it's not going to go over well and it could prejudice the jury.
Well, Trooper Michael Proctor did lose his job over all of this, so if they have to bring him in to read those texts, the defense will have a field day pushing the narrative that these cops are dirty and maybe pushing someone closer to thinking it's reasonable to imagine they might be involved in a conspiracy, which is what Karen Read wants. Hey, great work again. Thank you, Caitlin Becker. I so appreciate it. And thank you for being on my podcast, too. We went over this whole scenario for an hour, which is airing tonight. We're dropping it tonight. Thanks, Caitlin. Okay, now I want to bring in Joe Tacopina, who is a longtime defense attorney, good friend of the show, and somebody who knows his way around a courtroom. I loved this expression, Joe, that Karen Read gave to everybody, come at me. When we all found out that 44 clips of Karen's own words are going to come into the trial, she seems to have no issue with it, but lawyers think differently than clients. What's your read on that?
It's a nightmare. I mean, it's just a nightmare. Alan Jackson's a great lawyer, and I think he's going to do a great job here. But he is dying. I'm telling you right now, he's dying over this because, you know, the last thing you want is to have fodder for the prosecution to go at your client with, especially if they're not going to take the stand. She is laid up for the prosecution a bunch of softballs to hit out of the park. I just, some of the clips I saw already, including the one, Ashleigh, you just referenced, that's a huge one. I'm doing this so I don't have to testify because I don't want to testify. Oh, yeah, it's easy to sit in front of a TV camera and give your side of the story without being cross-examined in front of a jury. Real easy to do that, but she won't testify. It almost forces her hand to have to get up on that witness stand. Then that little line that she said about, I was so intoxicated, I don't remember, I may have hit him. I mean, just I don't really know for sure. She knows for sure now she didn't hit him. That reeks of fabrication. And so this is what happens when you go out there and give multiple statements when you don't have to. These were not compelled statements. This was her doing her thing. Now, look, she's got a wealth of support out there. Obviously, you know, there's a great group of supporters out there, and this should be. I understand. This case is larded with reasonable doubt. Ashleigh, it's larded with reasonable doubt. But you just made yourself a much bigger problem than you had to have by doing this. I mean, this was really uncalled for, and it really does give the prosecution, this prosecutor, the new prosecutor, is a special prosecutor, is a defense attorney, which means he actually knows how to cross-examine, knows how to try cases, and is going to use this stuff to his advantage. It's devastating for the defense. Don't let her.
Let me ask you this though.
Come on, they're going to come at her. Don't worry.
This one is different, right? This case is certainly different than a lot of the cases that we've seen. It's so high profile. There's this crazy crowd outside screaming and yelling so loud that the judge had to move the, the buffer zone back because last time the jurors could hear the screaming during deliberations. Let's do the weighted scale here. Is it worth it for Karen Read to have done the documentary? Because my assumption is that she got the go-ahead from Alan Jackson to do it. She would not have done anything crazy on her own like that. Would it have been worth it to do that, to get her message out there to the entire jury pool, versus the disaster that it is, knowing full well those words could and would come back into court?
I don't think so, because, you're going to get a jury of 12 now who are going to decide her fate. And the judge is going to tell them, whatever you've heard outside of court, it doesn't matter. And look, we're all human beings.
You can't unring that bell. You know that. You can't unring a bell.
But you're going to be in a courtroom now. And jurors, I find, take this stuff seriously. They take it seriously when they're in the well of a court. And they're debating, whether someone is going to jail or not, or there's a victim and someone needs justice or doesn't get justice, whatever. But so I think they take it seriously. So now they're going to hear, if any of these jurors have been so persuaded by these documentaries that they're so biased for Karen, I don't think they're going to be on this jury unless they're stealth jurors, unless they're jurors who are completely dishonest jurors who are, just saying, I don't have an opinion one way or another, but they really do have an opinion. So the jurors who actually make it onto the jury, assuming they're being honest, are the ones who haven't formed an opinion so strongly one way or another. So the documentaries haven't really done much, but what it has done is given the prosecution enormous ammunition. They didn't have this in the first trial. They don't have Karen Read saying, I don't want to testify. I'll give statements without cross-examination. Don't cross-examine me. What does that say? That says I'm afraid of the truth. They don't have her saying in the first trial, yeah, okay, I was so drunk, I may have hit him. I don't know if I hit him or not. That's horrible. I still think this case is a good case for the defense, Ashleigh. Don't get me wrong.
I also love the fact, Joey, I was just going to say, I love the fact that you're never allowed as lawyers to point out the fact that someone doesn't want to testify, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. What does that tell you? You're not allowed to say that. But she's saying it for them. So, yeah, I hear you. You have to come back. You have to come back and talk about this because it's getting underway on Tuesday. Can we book you again to do play-by-play?
Whenever you want, because this is a reasonable doubt case. And when you're talking about a reasonable doubt case, there's probably not a better one than this one. There are so many reasonable doubts in this case. And that's why no matter what she has done to herself to weaken her case, they're going to be okay.
I love how you think. And I want to start doing a segment about what watch you're wearing, because there's a lot going on. The media,
I've heard about that,
all the bloggers and the internet are going bananas over whatever watch. What's the watch tonight? What is it?
Swatch.
Swatch. Oh, my goodness.
Leave me alone. It's late. I'm on trial right now. It's whatever.
Leave me alone. I love it. Joe Tacopina, thank you. I'll leave you alone right now.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.